welcome to All Talk with Ethan Giles, episode number 4. It's finally here. I'm finally filming it. My God, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been busy, but I'm finally back, raring to go again. And obviously, it's not only been busy for me, but it's been busy for my co-hosts on CEE. Obviously, there hasn't been, if you follow that channel, there hasn't been a podcast this month, or last month, should I say. That's because, obviously, college, we all three of us go to media at college, and the work was like, bah! And obviously there's uni stuff coming up, so that's going through all that, so what we're going to do in the future. So it's been a very, very busy month, but we're back, and I can happily say that it's the 16th when we are filming our next CEE podcast. Finally, after all this time. But we also, I don't know if I ever mentioned, we also do a radio show that day, because Elliot has his own radio show on Radio Winchcombe. He has two shows. He has one on Saturday and one on Tuesday. And we appear on the Tuesday show, which is 4 till 6 in the afternoon / evening. So, if you want to come listen to us live, we'll be live on the 16th of April from 4 p.m. till 6 p.m. on Radio Winchcombe. Now, it's quite hard to listen to it, because obviously it's a local radio station, so you can't actually listen to it properly. You can't tune your radio to listen to it. The only way you can get that frequency is if you're actually in Winchcombe. But obviously they've thought around this, and they've made a app. Well, they use an app where you can listen to it, and I'll put a link in the description of what app you can use, and I'll also put a link to their website, because they probably explain it on the website a lot better than I ever could. And basically, you download this app and you type in Radio Winchcombe, and it'll come up, and you can listen to it on there. So it's a lot easier than trying to find your way into Winchcombe and tune your radio. Unless you have no internet access, that'll be the other way you can listen to it. But I do not advise you do that, especially if you don't live in the area. So yeah, that's the plan for the 16th. That's in 6 days' time from where we're filming this now. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today, because as always, I'm not the one, when we do our CEE podcast, I'm not the one that plans all the topics. That's lovely Charlie's responsibility. So thank you for that, Charlie. Thank you for not putting me through that. But now I'm on my own, and I have absolutely nothing to talk about. I do have a couple of ideas, but for now I have genuinely no idea what I'm doing. So we'll just go from there and see what actually happens. So what has been happening, actually, since I was last here? What's been happening on the old YouTubes? Because that's where we are. That's how you're listening to us. So I'm assuming if you're listening to me right now, you are aware of YouTube. Hello. And if you're not aware of YouTube, hats off to you. I have no idea how you're listening to me if you're not on YouTube, but there you go. Stranger things have happened. So what's been happening on the old YouTubes? I'll tell you what has passed, finally. If you listen to our old podcast, one of the things I talked about very poorly, because I can't speak, is Article 13, which is a piece of legislation that was going to be passed in the EU and EU countries, and which was basically going to dramatically affect the copyright laws in the EU and eventually around the world. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail about it, because I will explain it ever so poorly. But if you type in Article 13 into YouTube, I'm sure you can find there are plenty of videos all about it that would explain it far better than me. If you want to hear me explain it, though, in as best as I can, then check out the last CEE podcast that came out, because I'm not 100% sure when I spoke about it, but at some point I did talk about it, tried to explain it to Charlie and Elliot. Whether that went well, whether that went badly, that's up to the people listening to it, because I don't claim to know everything, but that was just something I felt I could talk about with a limited degree of knowledge about it. I was probably completely wrong there.
Make sure you do.
I don't actually really know much about this, and it's not because I'm arrogant, it's just because I don't really understand it. It's Article 13.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't really know why it's on the list, if I'm being honest.
I can try and explain it.
Me and Charlie don't know anything about this, so try and say whether we think
try
it's
and
good.
sell it to you.
Yeah.
Article 13 is a terrible, terrible thing.
So on the topic of Article 50, what am I talking about? I'm getting confused with Brexit. Let's not get into Brexit. I'm confused. It's been a long day. Leave me alone. Right, Article 13. My apologies. 13 was passed by the EU, and now everyone's collectively shitting themselves that this is going to change the whole internet and we're all going to die and it's going to collapse and oh my god. But obviously it takes a while to come into effect, so don't worry. Your YouTube videos and your memes and all your favourite YouTubers are protected for at least a short time. I imagine it'll take them... I'm not even going to put a number on it. I'm pretty sure they said it would take them around 2 years to start properly implementing Article 13. So take in YouTube while you can, because it's going to probably change in the next few years. So that's going to be a fun change. It'll hopefully give people a chance to get rid of it before it takes any proper action on the world and the internet at large. Hopefully it won't, but you never know. So what else has happened since... Let's go political. I like politics. This is probably going to be where I get shut down and where no one listens to me and everyone says I'm wrong. So this is probably an absolutely terrible idea, but I'm going to say it anyway. So the last few months, we obviously had Brexit in the UK hasn't gone particularly to plan, as I imagine everyone can agree with. Brexit has decided to go from let's leave the EU, let's take back control of our country and let's move on with our lives. Unfortunately, in the two, possibly nearly 3 years we've had now, that has so not happened, and we seem to be falling apart at the seams. Obviously we're not, but that's what it looks like from outsiders' perspectives of we don't know what we're doing, especially if you look in Parliament where they keep trying to vote for ways forward and every single notion got rejected. I'm not sure, that was I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, when they had 8 different ways forward in Brexit and decided none of them were good enough, and we had to get an extension. And then we have just tried to get another extension because we've decided that we don't have enough time, even though we've had 2 years to sort this shit out. But that's been extended, and my god, I just want it to stop. I remember when it was the two big things of politics in 2016 was obviously was Donald Trump and Brexit, and I was thinking to myself, wow, I already had an interest in politics, but I thought to myself, wow, this is making politics suddenly really interesting. Like something, if these things get passed, like if, for example, if Brexit wins and if Trump wins, this is amazing. This is like, you would assume, Brexit's not going to pass and Hillary Clinton's going to get in the White House and nothing's going to change and we're all going to carry on with our lives. But when that happened, it's like, I just thought to myself, wow, this is actually really, really interesting. And never in a million years did I think Brexit would be struggling, but Trump seems to be fine in America, and America doesn't seem to have burst into flames like people thought it would. Whereas with Brexit, it seems like our country really is falling apart and dying in flames. But I'm sure. But politics did really become interesting until it went on too long. God knows when the next vote will be. I probably won't be ready for it, but there you go. We don't know whether it'll be another. It seems to be a toss-up between a second referendum or another general election. So let's all put our bets down of which one we think that'll be, because that's going to be fun, isn't it? But no, apart from that, that's pretty much what's happened in the last, 2 months since I last uploaded a podcast on this channel. So yeah, a lot of things have gone down. Obviously, return here at some point when I decided to bring one of these out. Hopefully I would have planned a bit better what I'm going to do. Obviously, make sure you tune in to Tuesday the 16th of April at 4 till 6 for Radio Winchcombe. And also make sure to watch the CEE podcast when it comes out eventually. We film it that day, and then hopefully we'll get it out as quickly as possible, because obviously we know that we've missed a month, so we want to get it out as soon as possible. So that's it. So thanks very much for listening, and if you're still here, congratulations. You're beautiful and I love you. But no, honestly, thanks for listening, and hopefully you weren't too bored by what I was saying. So that's me done. I'll see you guys in whatever the next video brings. Goodbye.